This week on Truth Be Trolled, spiritual warrior Timmy Bakez.
It's spiritual warfare, and that's what no one realizes out there. It is spiritual warfare.
Come and take a ride.
Timmy Bakez is in the house.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm very honored to be here. I will tell you, this guy is set a great impression on my life. I've known him a long time.
You're talking about me, dude?
I'm talking about you, dude.
Jesus, you're
and I just want to thank
up.
you for being here today. And that's how I want to start this off. I want to give you my respect.
Right on, dude.
Because
thank you.
This dude has been nothing but supportive.
Well, Tim's a rapper. He's a rocker. He's a tree man. He's a lot of things, but he's got quite a story.
Thank you.
The last 10 years, a wild story, mixing music, drugs, and the law.
Yeah. Fighting the law.
Fighting the law. I hit these guys a little bit to you. Like, I don't know, guys. I told you about him maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Plus, Frank's met him. But, dude, take us down the Timmy rabbit hole. Oh, and I wanted to say, I mean, he's got fresh clothes on. He's got his own clothing line about to drop too.
TimmyBakez.com. We now have merch for the women too. We actually made the pink bandana with the pink clover. And so now we're really bringing the dynamics to it. And it's very exciting. I cannot wait just to start pushing these clothes and pushing the website, the signups, and just really working it. So
Jesus,
it works.
you really are a rapper, dude. You won't fucking stop with the promo, huh?
Don't stop. You can't. That's it. That's the hustle game, man.
That's exactly it.
Everybody, rap or whatever genre it is.
Yeah, Tim's got two things that are funny. He's a rapper. He says, I hate being a rapper. And he wears a lot of jewelry. He says, I hate this jewelry.
I hate the jewelry. But it catches the eye. Yeah. It will catch your eye. And then what I can say will hit your soul, stir you up emotionally. Because I've been there. I've been through it.
What have you been through?
Addiction. I've been through probation. I've been through county jail. I've been through prison, Walpole prison. It's a very infamous prison. I went through there when it was New Man. Spent 5 years, had spiritual breakthroughs, etc., etc. Came home, changed my life, reached out to some people I had met on bail, and with a hope and a prayer, honestly, and a plan, though, that if this man answers and these guys are ready to play ball, I'm going to pull through and I'm going to make it work.
That's the key, though. You definitely got to have a plan.
Yeah.
That's where,
That was the first words out of his mouth when he called me when he got out of the joint.
What?
That you had a plan. Like, he sold me. I mean, I liked him, but when we worked before, I was like,
did you really like me, though, when you first met me?
You were fine, dude, but there was like... I wasn't gonna bend over backwards for him, but I'm telling you right now, he's fucking focused. He does have a plan. He's followed through with absolutely everything in the last year. It's pretty crazy, but 5 years in the joint and all that, or more even, or whatever. That's fucking wild, dude.
Well, it was wild because what they did was I was on probation and got violated. So I spent 19 months in county. $30,000 bail I couldn't post. Now, I had to do all the probation time. Once that was done, we posted that $30,000 bail. That's when I met you. I was only out on bail for 5 months. So, we weren't able to build, we weren't even really able to build like that. So coming home, like I said, this was kind of a hope and a prayer almost. Like, I hope that these guys, and if they are, like he said, I not only had a plan, like I have a 10-year plan.
A full vision.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Correct.
Yeah, you got to be able to.
Right.
If you're going to manifest something, you got to be able to see it before it exists. So I get you, man.
You know what I wrote on the way up here? If you believe you're a legend in your own mind, you will become one.
100%.
In your own mind.
I had a client that was
Who are you gonna go here?
he was a weightlifter or whatever, and he was a bigger kid.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, but when he walked in, I would always like puff up my shoulders and be like,
course,
yo,
I'm here too.
Check it out. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was, let him know. Look at this. And he would just he would look at me like, that's cute. And then he would just say, hey, if you think you're huge, you're huge.
Yep.
And if you think you're not, you're not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the counter.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
same.
the counter.
So your little internal dialogue better not be stupid. You better not be talking shit about yourself in your brain.
That's why so much of the, not to completely switch gears, but like when it comes to like a lot of medications and stuff.
Oh, I'm pro med.
Well, I think a lot of the stuff, like let's say like, I don't know, like a Prozac or something. It's not as much of does the pill work or not, but whether or not you believe the pill works.
All right, so I'm an expert.
He is, and I'm not.
Now,
So I'm out.
on that, that's a state med we call.
Right.
Now, those are like the happy pills. Now, they say it takes a long time for it to build up in your system for it to even work, right?
That's why I don't believe it.
Now, it takes that long for it to get out of your system as well. I just actually helped someone get off an SSRI, and that's what those are called.
Right.
If you are going to be on medication, you want to make sure you are on the right meds and the good meds.
And you got to have a plan to eventually get off it.
I mean, yes and no. Some people, they don't. Yeah, you do. You somewhat do.
Also, you know what?
You do.
I don't like the whole idea that they're like, all right, it's going to take a month or two for it to start to work. But it's like, what if just in a month or two, you fucking feel better anyways on your own, because that's human nature, is to go up and down.
Blame it on the pill.
And they blame it on the pill.
Yeah, then
the pill
you credit the pill for feeling better, when in reality it was just.
Now, on the contrary, not to cut you off.
No.
And now if you took, let's say, just for example, an Adderall, you're going to feel that right away.
Yeah, dude.
You're buzzing. You're clean. It's your prescription. Congratulations, you made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because guess what? Once you deal with your addiction and you set that aside, what becomes? It's life. It's your goals. It's your vision.
Right.
It's working. It's your dreams.
Right.
You see them again.
With the Adderall.
With being clean. See, the Adderall keeps you away from the hard drugs, keeps you away from the cocaine, the other. So basically, what
if you run out of Adderall?
You don't. You get a prescription every month, and you see your doctor.
That's what I don't like. Is there's still like a level of dependency on on something external. You're still dependent on something external.
Yeah,
and so you're still. You still believe that power that you have to see your life clearly is from that little blue Adderall.
It's so true.
And it's tough, man. Believe me, I understand addiction too.
Yeah.
100%.
By the way, the blue pill is for your boner, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, what color? What color is Adderall? I thought they were
pink.
They're all, it depends what milligram. Every color is different per milligram.
A little pretty little pink.
Yeah. Those are the 10s.
Blue
but I think the blues are the 5s. The pink's the 10s, 30s are orange, 20s are orange, 30s are a little bit bigger, but et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But it basically boils down to, that's the bridge point, is to where what you're talking about, finding it inside instead of finding it in the pill.
Right.
But let's say you were, your drug of choice was, we're going to say, for example, cocaine, right?
Right.
That bridge to finding it inside could be Adderall.
100%. I think Adderall.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly what he's saying.
To get there, though, I think going from cocaine, which is illegal and can get you in trouble.
Correct.
You switch to legal cocaine, which is Adderall to some degree, It's like you still get fucked up on Adderall.
Well,
I mean,
if you have ADD, you really don't though. You
right?
Like I don't. You know what I mean? A little. I get a little, but I don't really.
Who the fuck doesn't have ADD to some degree? Though?
That is true. That's true. No, it's absolutely true. The answer's within.
Right.
I've been told that many times.
I also want to make sure, dude.
Within.
I'm 100% not fucking judging anyone that needs medication.
Right.
Everybody's on their own journey.
Absolutely.
And everybody has their own needs. Just for me personally, that's all I'm saying is, having experienced addiction, I feel like Adderall or whether it's Suboxone or methadone, any of that shit. Yeah. I feel like that's just the way of the pharmaceutical industry making money off from people's addiction. So it's like instead of the money going to the street, they want you right there. They want you right there. And they want to keep you there. Like
they do.
I know that like a person could get themselves clean off from heroin with like a handful of a very small amount of like a Suboxone or methadone.
Absolutely.
However,
if they want to,
that's what it all comes down to. The person has to want to be clean, and you got to put the work in. Just like losing weight or anything, you got to put the fucking work in. But they prescribe like 80 to 100 doses of this shit a month when you could do it in a fraction of that. So it's like they keep people chained, man. All it does is it just postpones the withdrawal, and now you're hooked on the prescription, which is legal, so it's from my doctor. It's okay, right? It's better. It's different. However,
the Sackler family approved that version.
Exactly.
They're good people.
However, when they don't give you a plan to wean you off of the Suboxone or the methadone, what do you think happens when that runs out? Withdrawals kick in, and you go right back to the street shit.
I think the whole thing's a terrible journey.
Depending on who you are. I'm saying largely that's what I feel like the system doesn't work.
The system is, we could go all day.
But you're 100% right. It all boils down to the individual has to really, truly want to change.
They have to.
That's what I was just going to say.
And even with you, I remember you telling me about when you were 29, that big transition that you made. You know what I mean? And now you said it was because of your son, right?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I at that when I think you're talking about like I went from a dickhead to like I don't have to be a dickhead. Because my third son was born. Yeah. My third son was born. He's like a hyper compassionate, intelligent person. He was not putting up with any of my bullshit. And I was like, why is that? And then it just like I had to use my brain. I'm like, oh. So over time I became, he softened the edges. Yeah. That's it, really.
Wow.
But that opened doors for other things too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you find that patience.
Well, correct. But once you open one door in that little spiritual realm, you might as well have kicked open all the doors because now it's work to not move forward. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I made a note about the spiritual realm on the way up here too.
Talking to you, Mike G.
It's funny because I made a note about the spiritual realm on the way up here because it felt like a demon had control of my body until he pushed me all the way down to the supermax, which they created in the maximum security prison. Created on their own.
Was there a voice in your head associated with the doings that
when I actually felt Jesus Christ change my heart?
But even before, when you were doing dirty shit and getting in trouble,
when I was in the mix,
was there a thing like a voice or a kind of energy that you knew wasn't you, like kind of urging you to do shit?
Well, at that point, I got 7 years.
Yeah, I'm talking moments before that. The whole business that got you the 7 years, though,
Yeah, there was something. There was some other force. There was another force.
But you wouldn't recognize it at the time because that's part of being that.
Yeah. Correct. But once I felt Jesus Christ changed my heart, ever since then, that demon hasn't ever even crossed my mind, not one time, ever.
Did you
think about that?
Yeah, no, totally. Did you grow up religious, or did you sort of discover?
I actually got hit. I was
tell that story. It's interesting.
My father was growing up, like My father looked one day. I spilt the milk.
Right.
I was young as I can remember, and he looked me square in my face. And what the fuck? And I'm just a kid, so I'm just like, man, I'm sorry. It was an accident. And he goes, you know what? You were a fucking accident.
Jesus Christ.
And so I didn't really know, like, I was like, dude, I was a kid.
That's a rewiring moment.
And so I was like,
you're like, sorry.
I had my bags packed every night to run away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's brutal, bro.
And I was going to go to the park.
Right.
As a kid, that's not right. Why is my bag packed with all the change I have saved?
Yeah.
To leave as a kid, but also trying to protect my little brother from it because, I had a little brother there.
Yeah.
And after the divorce, my father was they had me so young. We all grew up together.
Right.
And he was an angry man. Boy, I mean, cold-hearted, angry.
Yeah.
I got caught right in the middle of divorce. Mom's confining in me, and literally, and my father's, your mother's the cunt, and I'm caught in the middle of the divorce, trying to protect little bro from the divorce, and so that's kind of where it all started, and me and my mom built a very strong bond, and she was a single mother. Actually had 2 more kids with a shitbag, so I had to help support the whole household, and I did that with pride. And I got arrested at 24 years old, and I've been out of trouble since, and been planning. He knows. What did I call it? The dream bag, right? I put some money aside.
Yeah.
For my dream.
Well, dude, I think going through all of that stuff made you who you are. So it was all part of the plan that was laid out for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be as driven as you are now.
I wouldn't even have survived prison if my father didn't treat me like that, boy.
Yeah,
right. It's not to excuse what he did, but it did make you a strong person. There's always a silver lining, right?
He grew up too, as I grew up. As everybody,
because he was still young and figuring it out too.
He was in his early 20s, dude.
Yeah,
they had me. My mom had me at 18, 19, dude.
My mom had me at 17.
See, yeah, exactly. So you understand.
I wasn't 17; she was.
Yeah. But it's been a journey, and just being able to be here with you guys is such an honor for me. You know what I mean? Because of where I was, Jim, year and a half ago, maybe now. Because we laid low for 6 months. I was on parole, and all we did was we made music videos, recorded. I have a whole album.
While he was on parole, we got a suite, the presidential suite, or some suite at Encore. And we holed up in there for a weekend, and we made a whole bunch of dope ass music videos, tons of photos, reels. We were running around the whole casino, like up and down the palatial estate, like using that place as our location.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, it was pretty cool. But when I knew him before, he was not this guy. He was just more like, he'd be looking around, and then he'd look at you, be like, yeah, and like there was nothing going on, there was no plan, there was no shit going on.
Right.
So being put in timeout for 6 years clearly fucking set him straight for real.
Dude, you know what? Let me tell you this one thing, right? If your body is stagnant, what's left to do? Elevate your mind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if you're not,
and not only that, you know what you're forced to do? Look in that mirror. And every one of the mirrors in prison are scratched out because they can't look at themselves.
Oh,
so you got to buy your own mirrors. I'm not kidding. Every single mirror in the joint is scratched out.
That's dark.
They can't look at themselves. That's the realization I came to. I was used to wonder, why the fuck is all these, every single one of them in every county, in every prison. Finally, one day, I'm like, oh, duh. They can't even face themselves.
Yo, you want to know something interesting? Because I think you're absolutely right. This is kind of weird. It's a very movie moment, but I used to work with this director who's a bad motherfucker. Dale Restaghini, he goes by Rage. And he was allowing me to co-direct a video with him. And he calls me in the morning of the shoot. He's like, listen, fucking listen. You go in the bathroom and you look in that mirror, you look yourself in the eyes and you tell yourself, today's the fucking day. He's like, don't drop any fucking balls. Like, you make everything happen. Like, he was legit. He wasn't fucking around with me. But he meant it when he said, go look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself. And I was like, that's some movie shit. I was like, right. Well, this dude's a bad motherfucker. Bad man. So I was like, yeah, I'm going into the fucking mirror and I'm going to talk to the guy. It was a lot of work. It was the most work, but it was fucking killer. But I learned a lesson on that. I'll tell you.
The most work.
Yeah.
The most work.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. You know what's fucked up? In the book Think and Grow Rich, the simple thing about it is it says write down your goals and what you're willing to give and repeat them a couple times a day. And you will have them. Nobody can seem to do that fucking thing.
Yo, it's that simple too.
It's that simple, but you wouldn't believe how hard it is. And if you can do it, you can do it.
People are lazy.
Lazy as fuck.
People are lazy.
Yeah.
Now, AI, you know how crazy it was for me to come home, bro, and go? I went to a Wendy's.
Let's talk about this. Hold. Let's talk about the state of technology and social media before you went in versus when you came up.
Dude, it's so... Just having a phone and trying to maintain multiple conversations at once overwhelmed me.
Oh, that's going to be crazy.
It was like...
Did you try to get on social media?
That makes sense. No.
Yeah.
I didn't. I called them and game planned.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
He wouldn't even go comment on a post unless he got approval. He's like, dude, I don't know if I should be doing. It's like, dude, go be your fucking self. But he's careful in his moves. He's not doing dumb shit. So.
Well, I mean, I got Zaytoven beats, in my inbox. Terminology, just we were just talking about a verse. I mean, so moving right online is a big deal. Being supportive, being part of the network. When you
came out. So, like, there's fucking troglodytes, like, dancing on TikTok. Like, this must have been a mind bender. All right,
so, basically, when I went in, all that existed was YouTube, right? You had your Facebook, and you had Instagram and Snapchat, right? TikTok was all new. Everything was new. A reel, I didn't know what a reel was. You know what I mean? And then I'm watching all these reels, and I'm like, none of them are even real.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, no.
They're just little sound bites to try to get you to wherever they're trying to get you to, and it's totally makes sense. It's perfect. Now, I didn't get the whole swiping to the left so I had to relearn the entire internet. And I was intimidated at first. Like he said, I would call, or text, and before I was really doing anything, because at first, you know what I did when the first song came out is I sent it to a shit ton of people and they fucking flagged me like I was some fucking robot or something. I'm like, why is that wrong? What's wrong for it? You can't do that no more.
Right.
There's rules and regulations if you want to play in this playground, boy. You know what I mean?
Well, it's more, it's better said to say you got to pay if you want to play in this playground. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking...
It's almost like being frozen, I guess, in time. You just kind of... when we're allowed to get out and you thaw it out, and you come out and you're like, okay, what's going to kind of caveman?
Probably bit. Sure.
Yeah. And well, you know what I mean? Like it's that thing that you say, okay, well, I don't feel like anything has changed. Why would I think that anything has changed? Of course, you're changing yourself, but like on the outside of, in the world, things are just happening. And fast. Even in 6 months, music's different, fashion's different.
COVID hit.
He was locked down.
So you were in there. Okay. All right. That's
Jesus. I wish
wild.
We didn't say that. Let's move on past it. It's gonna get all bent out of shape.
Okay.
Yeah. It was hardcore. It was hardcore.
Yeah, it's wild.
We'll use our imagination.
It was hardcore. But yeah, please.
Well, I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, there's, I have, friends and family that have, I've spent a little bit of time in. And I haven't, my brother hasn't, but, when they've come out, it is or have come out, they look around like they're almost kind of taking it all in again and being like, well, that store is different. They used to be on the corner. It's not there anymore. So just all those things that you may not have thought of as you're getting out. I'm free, but you're free almost to left to this more wild world almost, to a certain degree.
Yeah, you can see the Matrix.
Yeah.
You can see how things change.
Right.
That's why I was so lucky to have them, to kind of learn.
Sure.
Have somebody, big bro, you know what I mean? To like,
he has like a Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, he was kind of like Neo when the fucking tubes popped out of his back and his head and his neck. He was like, "What the fuck is going on out here?"
When I pulled up to that Wendy's and the AI was answering so fast, I couldn't keep up with it. I was like, bro, it was just,
He comes out and there's no dollar menu?
There's no dollar. Everybody wants a tip. Why every time I swipe my card anywhere, tip. It doesn't matter if it's a Tedeschi's, it don't matter where you swipe that card, they're saying tip, and if they're not asking for a tip, they're saying donate to us.
Yeah,
and it says $1. I mean, I tried to do a reel on that, and the guy, he won't let me in the store anymore. It's like, literally, I called him on it, and he kicked me out the store. He said, "You can't come here anymore."
Good.
I said, because I caught it on film. I said, "Are you asking me? Are you asking me for $1 right now?" He said, "No." I said, yeah. He said, no. It's the people over there. I said, "Oh yeah, the people over there. How about no? No, I'm not giving you $1 for passing me a pack of cigarettes, dude."
Yeah.
That's your job, isn't it?
Well,
you get a paycheck?
Where did tipping originate? Well, first know how tipping originated? Because it has to be like a thing, right? You got to do something for it. He didn't he didn't juggle the cigarettes before he gave them to you. He didn't make them go around. And I don't want anybody who works for tips. Anyone who works for tips.
No,
I'm not saying anything bad.
Right.
I'm just asking when did it came.
I'm not sure when it started, but you have to respect, right, to some degree. That's that dude's hustle.
Right.
You called him out on it, but you were one out of 100 other people that had thousands of other people that had no problem putting a fucking $1 in there, and that is a hustle. You got to respect hustle.
Yeah, but they're saying it's to over there.
Yeah,
well,
that's a lie.
To charity.
No, you called him out on his hustle. That's all, dude. That's all you did.
Don't lie. If they want to say donate to us. Don't say donate to charity. So I talked to the Dunkin' Donuts guys one day.
It is sleazy.
And they said they weren't getting their tips. Yeah. Like, say the manager has to work his shift. That manager's not getting none of the tips. Why? He worked the shift. Oh, because he's the manager, you don't get the tips?
Well, because he gets paid more and whatever. And
he gets a free chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
But listen, tips are fucked. Adam Carolla had a great talk about it a couple weeks ago, but he was saying the guy that reels off 50 yards of fucking heavy duty chain for you at Home Depot and walks it out to your car. He gets nothing.
Wow.
But the fucking the way he put it is pretty funny. But the creature that hands you the fucking coffee, they're gonna get fucking $2 for turning around and that was just like
20%.
That's kind of crazy.
Well, you know what else is weird? I'm not sure if this is how it works, but in like the I don't know if it's all of the food industry or just with bartenders where that's
what I was thinking.
Like there's like a base wage that they get.
Yeah, right? And they work for the tips.
And it's not minimum wage. It's like
low.
It's like $4 an hour or something insane, right?
Waitresses.
So they depend entirely on tips.
On the tips, yeah.
Which to me seems insane, right? Because there's no law.
I think but that's the service. I completely believe in tipping. I think I think it's awesome, but
a bartender,
they should be
making the drinks. They're doing something.
Yeah, but shouldn't the employer be paying the wages and then the tips?
Yeah, that's the game. The employers can fuck off. That's the game. They're supposed to be paying these people. And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's the game.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking game. They're screwing their employees and putting it on the customer.
And
just like every corporation.
And just like every big
How come
corporation.
every one of those corporations that are begging for that dollar when you're at checkout want to donate to some great cause? It's a multi-million billion-dollar corporation asking for more money, and they just fucking ripped you off, but they need that extra dollar to save a puppy in fucking Botswana or something. It's like, you full of shit. You're absolutely right. I'm donating to them. It's not going anywhere else.
I mean, and I'm the criminal.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the criminal.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you see what I mean? So it was coming circling back just to what you were talking about. It was insane, and especially with the
you were like,
the
for
internet.
what? You were like, I gotta get for what was your first thing?
And then I'm seeing it every single time I swipe my card. I'm like, this is a problem.
The only difference is you got caught.
Right.
That's it.
Well, no. The only difference is there are rules for a guy like him to be caught, because those other people get caught and nothing happens to those corporations.
Right. That's true.
Like back to the Sackler family. If you get fined, let's just say you got fined $4 billion. Oh, that's okay because you made 20. Like, who gives a fuck? It's part of the P&L statement.
Or all the giant corporations or banks that just get bailed out when.
Before he went to prison, society was somewhat normal. He came out and the fucking grift was on. Everybody's full of shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's lying. Everyone's grabbing and taking.
There's all right. The moral compass of the hustler gone. They make fake pills and try to sell them as real ones.
Yep.
I mean, we had a moral compass. We had a code that we all stood by. Yeah. Everyone had lawyers. Everyone memorized the lawyer's number. We had a crew. We were tight. We were, you know what I mean? And it's like,
that's gone.
To see the moral compass and to see, like, you couldn't pay me. If someone said to me, I'll give you $1 million to go start hustling again, you know what I would tell them? Fuck you. Go take that $1 million and go fucking throw it in the strip club for all I give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money anymore that is going to influence the way that I'm moving. I move off intuition. Intuition comes from gut feeling. Gut feeling comes from God.
Yeah.
Tough to
I'll take
argue.
that.
You know what I mean? That's how I move now. And I try. It's hard. It's hard.
I'll go one step further. Before you went to prison, people were normal. When you came out, there were fucking demons everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
I never believed this. I honestly, would someone say that to me 10 years ago, be like, shut the fuck up. And now I see people.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dude, it's
you're
literally
a fucking
You're
demon.
a demon. And then they think it's cool.
How many different prophecies and conspiracy theories has all been saying for decades now, or 1,000 years now, that this is the direction it was going to go in? You know, the mark of the beast is technology.
Technology is the mark of the beast.
AI. I believe that if you believe in terms of spirituality and whatever, it's like so you know I can't
wait to see what you're gonna say.
The second coming of Christ.
I can't wait. Dude.
Or the Antichrist, right, are supposed to show up. I believe that one or the other will appear in AI.
Oh my God, so do I.
And like when AI gets advanced enough to actually manifest a soul or whatever, it'll be one or the other. And that's what the prophecy is, which could never have foreseen fucking technology where it is, but our technology's literally reached the level of like what God could be, to
the point where paper is going stale, right?
Oh yeah.
And what's the Bible written on? Paper.
Yeah.
How are they going to translate the Bible?
They've already done it and fucked with it. If that's what you're saying,
it's fucked. We're all fucked. Everyone buy a Bible.
I think the Bible was fucked with even back then on paper. I think there's shit in the Bible where some dude was like, "Yo, I know how to control everyone." However, in order to have civilization, you have to have rules and you have to have consequences, right?
Correct.
It's in order to get people to just not fucking kill each other wildly,
right?
So what bigger consequence is there than the thought of burning for eternity in flames in hell?
That doesn't work anymore. So it
doesn't work anymore
and went the opposite way.
Right.
Now, what do you mean? Like your statement about God earlier, it was that had the same power that some dude on Phil Donahue back in the 80s saying, "Yeah, I'm a Satanist. I am. Like, it's the same thing now. Like, the fucking script is flipped.
Wow.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, it is, because I keep seeing, like, you know, a lot of these young, this is the reason why I don't want to rap anymore, because they're all talk about this demon time and all this. I'm like, dude, I'm good. I'm like good here. I'm going to start, you know, doing a little Linkin Park kind of rock rap thing. That's where I'm headed, man.
That's ready. That's ready.
You know, but you know, the story starts where the story starts. So I wanted to make sure to get that part out. Yeah. And it was hard. And he's one of the biggest reasons why I was able to actually get my mind out of there, because my body left, but it took a while for my spirit, my thoughts process, and everything to
I would shame him every time he would talk about prison.
He talked. And
I'm like, yo, you're back in prison, dude, with your mouth.
Well,
right.
You know what he said to me one day that sat me down? He said, "You're still in prison." And I was out for 6 months at this point. He literally, I sat on that for about a week. That statement alone.
I mean, that's real. That's also
understandable.
That's real, and also, of course, that's understandable, dude. You don't fucking.
You can create your own prison in your mind.
Well, I mean, we all do to some degree. We're all paying the man. You know what I mean? We're all working to pay them bills.
Mm-hmm. And I think everyone needs to understand your life is either a prison or heaven, and you are making the outcome.
Well, there's a philosopher that says your soul is the body. The body doesn't have the soul. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're not your body with a soul. You're a soul that has a body.
There it is.
There it is. Having a physical experience.
Yes.
And 100%, man. 100%. But also, I believe, like, heaven and hell, the concept of heaven and hell, I believe are real, but I believe they are states of mind within your physical experience.
Have you ever read or heard of any of those Seth Speaks books? Any of those things? Where there's like an entity talking to this lady and her husband's writing it down and stuff.
It's
pretty much adamant that saying that you create hell, like whatever you think in this 100%. Life is what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's irrelevant
because pain, right? Like pain, the idea of pain and pleasure, suffering and joy. Those are elements that only apply to physical reality. So outside of physical reality is just pure consciousness, pure energy. Yes. It is above and beyond any of that. It's just energy, dude.
Everything's energy.
There is no more.
Everything has energy.
There's no pain or pleasure. It's just pure consciousness. Just pure energy.
Right. It's however you create your own reality inside of your head. Right.
Yes. Yeah. And then you manifest it.
You also need to know how to get out of your head at that same time. See, that was a big problem. Totally. I never used to be able to get out of my head and realize, like, dude, what you're doing is having ripple effects that are affecting your family, your mother, your children. I mean, I'm fighting with my own mother to see my kids, man. Shit is messy.
Yep.
And she's mad I'm doing music, but she doesn't understand I have to do it to stay out of trouble. That's my outlet. So it's that, she wants all my money. So that's what she's used to. She's used to me handing her money. You know what I mean? So now that that's not happening anymore, I'm a bad guy. I can't see my kids.
Impair. I wanted to say, you said something interesting, but I was thinking, like, when you say that your meat suit is your experience or whatever, I think that
he said meat suit.
If you could envision that your eyes, your senses are kind of like an 80s camcorder, and the world is in 12K, but you're only seeing through that bullshit 480 camcorder. There's a whole universe of things you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot smell, you cannot feel the vibration of, because you're in a fucking Gen 1 meat suit. An old camcorder.
Which is a type of prison.
Which is a type of prison.
Yes.
But if you didn't have that, your human mind in this position right now couldn't take in the 12K version. You'd lose your fucking mind, because you'd actually be looking at the Matrix. That's like when you see look into the lasers go online and the dudes do DMT and look into the lasers, they can see the literal fucking Matrix.
Yeah. I think that's the whole point of everything is as a consciousness, as a soul, or whatever you want to call it, you agree to have this experience. You go, you know what? What am I going to do? What am I going to do now? You know what? I'm going to try that roller coaster.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Or good or bad, because that doesn't, good or bad doesn't matter. It's irrelevant at that point. It's just, I want to have a physical experience as a consciousness. I want to have a physical experience. I'm going to take the Black Diamond Trail, which is Earth, as a human being.
Right.
During this time, it's a fucking Black Diamond Trail. It's right. You know what I mean?
I do.
However, even if you would have,
he really does.
I do.
And that's to say that, like, that's why I respect I try to remind myself to respect every single human being's experience and not just see everybody
and that's getting out of your head.
Right. And not just see people as an NPC, even if I think somebody is whatever, a terrible, angry person, or maybe a person that is just suffering endlessly. It can be really difficult to explain that maybe the consciousness chose that experience, because from that level, it's all just an experience, right? You can't just keep incarnating as a king.
No, but keep in mind, let's say you reincarnate an
all
untold
experiences are
trillion
valid.
times, right? Every experience is a different slice of the big picture.
Exactly. That's my point. They're all valid. Every single experience is unique and valid.
And that's what infinity is, supposedly. Wow.
So it's a roller coaster.
That's some deep shit.
In talking about taking that roller coaster, that's basically what I chose when I came home. That's exactly what I chose to do. I said, I'm going to get on this roller coaster and I'm going to ride this motherfucker.
And you throw your hands
goes up, down, around. I don't give a fuck.
And you got your hands up.
And I have my hands up.
Right.
And I got God in the center of my heart. He knows that I am ultimately here to spread in a different message and a message of change.
Right. And when you talk about that stuff, like, some people get hung up on the terminology, right? When they hear Jesus and God, they shut down away.
Shut down. So you got to say higher power.
Right. You say the creator or consciousness instead of soul. Now,
universe.
To be honest, I believe all of that stuff were people trying to write down their experiences thousands of years ago, and it was actually interaction with, like, an extraterrestrial higher intelligent species. However, even if a more intelligent species or civilization engineered us humans, like God created man in his own image, well, you know, maybe there's a little bit of alien DNA in us, whatever. But who created that species, and then who created that species, and eventually you still reach the concept of God or creation. So you still get there. So it's all still relevant.
And then you get into
well, we are the aliens,
right? We're space. That's what I was just going to say.
According to Frank's, the lore of his people,
right?
We were built as
not
gold mining slaves to get the gold out of the earth, so the Anunnaki could fucking fly around everywhere.
Not just Peruvians and Mayans,
not just
and
Peruvians,
Aztecs,
but they carry that torch.
So many ancient civilizations.
They're definitely in on it.
Yeah,
that's why I think a lot of the Bible is based on sort of like Egyptian mythology and kind of rewritten, but it all comes back to the same basic
concept. It's all basically right versus wrong.
Right.
Is at the core of it. At the very bloody core.
Light versus dark.
Dark versus evil. Good versus bad.
But then it gets confusing because then people do the old switcheroo and and that's what we're dealing with right now. I think there's so much madness happening right now because for thousands of years, most of fighting amongst humans was, fighting over territory, obviously, but the different cultures had different gods, right?
Yeah.
So the fights were really over my God versus your God.
Really?
And there's no compromise there, right?
None.
This is just my God.
This one believes this one believes that one, and they ain't budging.
Right, dude. Like, my God, that's it. It's the only God. My God is your God. And you're like, no.
Sad to see. Why can't we all just get along?
What if we were our own gods?
Right.
What if all of us being our own gods were part of another bigger God.
Well, that's what they don't want. Because then
you don't want to
because then
know
we
that
would.
How much of the
the
percent of the
dirty
brain
dude
do
in
you
Pakistan is actually you.
Yep. That's what I was saying before about having respect for every single human being that is.
It's hard. It's hard, but when you do it, it costs nothing to do it.
Right.
It's fucking hard, I'll tell you. But
I'm
when
not
you
sa-
do it, it's like, wow.
I'm not saying
that
you
was
have to
something.
respect their choices as a human. However, there is an equal amount of soul or consciousness having an experience.
Well, the magic is for you and how you deal with it.
How does it affect you? Right. Right. Like don't try to change another person.
Yeah.
You can only change how they affect you.
You can only change you, and then once you
That's really
change
it.
you can change others.
Right.
You can
You can
help
try.
change others.
You can help.
try. You can help.
Right.
But it's if they want it. But having these higher intellectual conversations is what I live for.
Yeah.
Human connection.
Well,
like
we
this,
usually talk about shitting our pants.
This is
Yeah.
what I live for because everyone's so low level frequency thinkers that it's hard to even connect or hang or like,
Why is that though? Why do you think so many people, because I know a lot of really intelligent people that are just so quick to scoff at these discussions or
Well,
just
no one wants to be wrong about anything.
That's what it is,
and,
right?
and-
I'm
and not to
scared.
mention, you have your phone in your hand all day,
Yeah.
so you don't even know yourself anymore because in
Well,
those
and you're-
moments you
and-
need to be alone and think.
Right.
You're fucking checking out a pair of shaking asses and titties on
Right.
TikTok.
But you were saying, you said, I think what's most important right now is instead of my God versus your God, it's my reality versus your reality. It's my science versus your science. And because everyone has this device in their hands, there's so much information and there are algorithms at work that will give you all the confirmation bias you need so that you always feel right. You can almost always find something on that fucking thing that'll be like, no, I am right. And then it'll just keep feeding you
yes,
half,
and then tell
half
you're
truths.
a robot.
Right.
I don't even
and you're
want
doing
that
what the
stuff because I
phone
know
wants.
that's bullshit too.
Right, but I'm saying most people will fall for half truths. They'll fall for half of the truth, the half of the truth that confirms that they're right. So it feeds your ego, right? Everybody just wants to be right rather than have an actual conversation and
I know.
discourse.
I don't
and
care anymore. I know I'm wrong. Fuck it.
Me too. But I'm just saying.
I'm youngest. I'm learning.
I don't even bother anymore either
Yeah.
because I don't know anything either. But but witnessing what's happening right now, where it's team red versus team blue. It's basically fucking it's football,
Right.
and everyone is getting half truths, right?
Yeah.
So you can be right. Each side can be right,
In
but
the wrong way,
each side is only getting the side of the story that their side wants to get that
right.
confirms that their side is right.
Well, guess what? The whole story is shit. So fuck them all. That's my new stance. Like I don't care. I don't want to. Politics is garbage.
Well,
it's
hopefully
all garbage.
Hopefully we'll get there.
You know
we
what's-
will
you know
because this uprising's
You know
real.
what's crazy is that I hate it. So in prison, rules of thumb.
Right.
You don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion.
Right.
Rule of thumb. Because everyone's going to have their different beliefs. And like you said, they're going to stand on those beliefs.
Yeah.
The fight, stab over these beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so you really figure yourself out. Some people get very lost. I never joined a gang. I stood on my own 2 feet, bro.
Wow, I was going to ask that.
A kid from Cape Cod, had a good reputation, a good name. I kept my word. It got me pretty much with the right people. And, my bid was very different than most.
Yeah.
It was an adventure. Like they used to say, you never know what a man goes through at sea. You know what I mean? When they're gone at sea for fucking years trying to cross the fucking world in a fucking wood boat. You know what I mean? And it's just, I can't even say everything that happened because it's like too much to even.
You don't need to though.
To even make sense because there was 2 halves. There was the first half where I resorted back to my old ways here in 7 years watching my brother walk out. I took 7 years so my brother could walk out the door. My little brother, my co-defendant, the kid I was protecting from my father and my mother. That 7 years sent me backwards for a little bit. And because my word was good, a good reputation, I got, knew the right and knew the right people. And, so things at some times, I was paying rent for my mother.
Yeah.
And there were times where I was asking for money. There were times where, it was a lot of ups and downs, but people don't realize that in there, it's a whole economy. It's a whole, because there's life. It's a whole like.
Did you have a job? Did they give you a job?
Dude, I had every job under the sun. I was in culinary. I had the hallway job. I got in a lot of trouble in the beginning. I did a lot of seg time and shit. But
you ended up learning some shit.
I learned a second language. Yo hablo español. Salgo perfectamente. And aprendí durante mi tiempo en prisión. And uso mi diccionario todos los días, estudiando. And mi televisión pone un captions. And me beat the captions.
Yeah.
Mi diccionario. Busca las palabras. Escriba las palabras. Estudia las palabras.
Yeah.
Aprendí las palabras.
No comprende.
So I learned Spanish in prison, and eventually I actually became a translator at the end of it. I was translating in groups and in programs and all types of
and starting all sorts of fucking wars and shit.
In the beginning,
Transferring filthy shit back.
and it was wild. It was a life. It was like I went and lived a whole life, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
That's a lifetime.
No one can understand what I'm talking about here.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So when I say, I was sending money home, everyone's imagination must be like, how in the did he do that? But that's all it is. You just got to use your imagination. And these guys, boy, they'll figure anything out.
Yeah.
They will figure it out. But there's contact visits.
That's crazy. It's basically
contact visits. You kiss your girl and hug her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's contact visits up there. It's fucking crazy.
But that's crazy. It's like slave labor, right?
Dude, complete slave labor.
Here we go.
Yeah, don't even get me started. He knows I'll go for it, off. Tim. Dude, I during COVID, they made me work. They didn't make you. I obviously signed up for. I eventually became the second cook. This was before I got in culinary. I was cooking for the kitchen for the inmates. Now, we worked 6 days a week, double shifts, from 6 a.m. until 5 p.m. 6 days a week. You know how much money I made a week? Guess.
$30.
Close.
$100.
Don't tell me $20. They went up or down. $100? No, $50.
$48.
$48. Okay, so let me see. Looking at that,
that was me. That's the highest paying job, though. Excuse me on that.
In a
that was the
commissary.
highest paying job in the joint almost at that time.
Timmy,
you were making if you were doing line duty, you were making $12.50 a week.
Okay.
Is the prices of the shit in the commissary like normal, or are they blown out like?
So they were, when I first went upstate, dude, we were buying jars of peanut butter and jelly, making loaves of bread. We turned the grill, into little squeezums. Squeezums, 40 cents a whack.
Yeah, okay.
Whack.
So they did to you guys the same they did to the rest of the world.
To the rest of the world.
Yeah.
They jacked the prices up on us so high that it was a hard time because no one went through any of this. Nobody has gone through something like that. And you had
more to the slave labor bit, though.
The slave labor is so. Let me tell you this, right? Nobody realizes this, but the system is the system. School system. Kid ends up in detention. He goes to detention. What happens when he turns 18? He gets in trouble. Where does he go? Jail.
Yeah. Detention.
Detention. Yeah. Right. So. everything is the system, the school system,
Right.
the justice system, the transportation system. Everything is the system. And now, want to know who does pretty much all the work for the state of Massachusetts? All the inmates. Down to like, just for an example, Walpole State Prison made every single license plate.
Right.
They were the plate shop. They made every license plate in Massachusetts, right? Old Colony Correctional Center. They have a they do the documents. Any huge documents they need, they're doing all of them. Guess what? They're making they have the wood shop. They're making fucking what do you call, for the parks? The park benches. Park benches, nice ones out of wood, making all this type of shit. What do you think they're doing with that? Oh, here's the biggest one of all. They train the dogs. The inmates are training the drug dogs.
Damn.
Mind blowing, right? So they ship the puppies into the joint. And there's literally a unit that has that's the dog, called the dog program. They walk around the camp with the dog.
Damn.
With dogs. And they have their own. They're training the dogs for who? The state. And what do they do with those dogs that are trained? They're service dogs.
Oh, service dogs.
They're training service. So you know how much a service dog is worth? That's trained? A trained service dog. Look it up.
$5,000.
I honestly, I really don't. I don't know.
I bet you it's more.
Might be
I
more.
would. So that's an example. That's just a couple examples I can think of off the top of my head.
I thought that you meant that they were training the dogs, and then you guys got to put the sumo suits on. They were going to come and jump in and bite you.
That would be
I was listening intently until I was like, well, that's not what he's talking about.
No, they just do the service dogs.
Okay, gotcha. I was like,
but I wouldn't.
I thought you were saying the inmates were training the dogs to be drug dogs to go.
That's what I
fucking
thought.
get their people.
Right, to go find more workers.
In my opinion,
Ultimately,
they probably are.
Well,
but who knows? There's supposed to be service dogs that help, blind or whatever.
Right.
But
yeah, the word system, the way you use it, you can tell, at least if you've talked to anyone who has done any time.
Yeah.
Anybody who calls it jail only did an overnight because they were in the tank. You know what I mean? But people who have actually done time call it the system because it is.
And they're stuck in the system.
Yeah.
They don't know they're stuck in the system unless they know they're stuck in the system.
Right.
I was saying that to Jim earlier. I had to realize I was stuck in the system. You want to know when I realized I was? When he told me I was still in jail. When he told me I was still in prison 6 months after being out.
Right.
Now you're just in a nicer prison.
well, no, actually, I'm telling you, I've very rarely in my life seen a human do as much mental work as him. It's fucking kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
I just mean, that's wrong word.
No, I'm not even calling you out like that. I'm just saying it is remarkable what he's done from like being in prison to where he's at even now,
Yeah, man.
I was bullying conversations. I would talk to my own lawyer, right? And bully the conversation. My lawyer literally had to go, Timmy, you gotta stop.
Right.
I've told him.
And he told me him and my lawyer, but see, a lot of people they're timid.
Right.
They're, and I don't know why. I come get to know me, man.
Right,
I'm a great guy. I'm cool as fuck, man. You know what I mean?
What I meant by a different prison is the Matrix. We're all still, and I don't think we're stuck. That's the whole thing. Like you were saying earlier, you're only stuck in your own mind.
Yeah, you create your own reality.
Yeah,
There's
talking about freedoms, though. We're talking about freedoms, though. If that's where you're going with it, because if we're on the outside, we're in the Matrix, but we have.
Well, if you're talking about real freedom, right?
Like debt is prison.
Debt is prison. Yeah, I mean taxes are embezzlement. Technically the Matrix is controlled by a set of rules, which would be physics, right? Like you can't fly, you can't walk through walls, you can't walk on water.
I don't know.
Maybe not yet. Unless you were that guy that you found, little Jeebus, little guy named Jeebus that apparently had, if the stories are real, maybe this was a guy that figured out how to cheat the code.
If you think on Earth right now that there aren't people or something,
I'm not saying
in mountains by themselves, fucking levitating or whatever. Y'all crazy. There are definitely superhumans, or what we call superhumans. And I'm not talking reptiles and aliens. I'm talking humans that have done shit.
Example: I was born with overproduced adrenaline. I was born with that.
I don't know what that means.
That means I'm a superhero.
That means you came out fighting.
I wouldn't tell the quote unquote elite because it's going to turn your fucking his blood is going to be like hyper adrenalized and your adrenochrome is just going to be
those lizards. Those lizards now know that you got the good.
Yeah, they'll have my brain like Aaron Hernandez, dude. And you know Aaron Hernandez. Yo, and you know they did that because he was smoking so much fucking of the fucking spice upstate.
Oh.
Yeah, his brain was so fried like that. They thought it was from football.
Oh.
They said
fucking spice.
Okay, so spice
like
is
that
synthetic
fake weed.
Synthetic cannabinoids is what they smoke in the joint. Now, Aaron Hernandez used to roll pages up. Whole pages.
I dare to be honest with you, when I've seen videos of people
now,
all
I wasn't
spiced out.
excuse me, I wasn't in there with him, but I hit the max right after he killed himself.
Right.
So, like, it was very talked about, very relevant, very, you know what I mean? So, when I heard what he was doing, and then I saw the news talking about his brain, I'm like, nobody knows the truth except for the guys who were inside with him. That was from smoking synthetic cannabinoids, burnt holes in his brain, dude. Yes, football obviously had a little bit to do with it, but those huge fucking holes, bro, that's from synthetic cannabinoids, not football. Yeah,
I believe that.
That's real. That's real. That's facts.
I gotta be honest. I've seen, you see videos of people that are on spice. It doesn't look fun, dude. So, oh my god, I could have stories for days. Bro, it looks like demonic possession.
Oh, it is. Yeah. So that, but you gotta
realize
that
like that gas station shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to sell it at the gas station.
What is that shit called?
Salvia.
Salvia.
No, different.
But still synthetic. Weird
but like.
shit.
Somewhat,
but
not that type of high though. Like
it's
if you just
bath
take a little
salts
tiny hit, it's just like kind of like a weed high, dude.
Yeah.
Those guys that are going like this,
they
fucking took a huge piece of did an Aaron Hernandez and rolled up a whole fucking piece of paper and tried to smoke the whole fucking thing. So they hit the fucking deck and fucking seize out. And then they call the ambulance wheelchair. And they come running down, dude. They throw him in the wheelchair. They strap him in the wheelchair, bring him down to medical, and he comes to, and he's fine. And they let him out.
Was it like a 20-minute high or
no, short. It's short. It's very short. It was very short. It wasn't really my cup of tea. It's dangerous.
Yeah, you think?
It's very, very dangerous. And I stayed very far away from it, once I learned. Once I realized how demonic that shit was, bro.
Give you mad cow disease.
Yeah, man, it was fucked up, man. But now these guys are trying to escape reality so bad that's
smoke spice.
It's a spice.
Well, if you think about why they came up with the name Spice, you just picture like if you open up your spice rack, I guess it all looks like weed. So I guess so, right? I guess
the oregano.
Very clever. Yeah, it's very clever names they come up with.
It was right on oregano. Dude. They sold it right at the gas stations like 10 years ago. I remember when they banned it. I remember smoking it 10 years ago on probation. Lightly, but you'd see these other guys, they get cracked out on it for real.
Wow.
People get cracked, they're cracked out.
Gross.
So it turned into zombie land, and I had to elevate my mind, and I would keep my door shut. Once I got parole, I shut my door. You know how I got parole? By talking in Spanish, like I did to you, you guys?
Yeah.
Because there was one Spanish guy on the parole board. I went for so long, one of the parole ladies said what Jim said. Yeah, buddy, I don't know what you're saying. And I'm like, oh, sorry. You know what I mean? But it was like, I did something in here.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm standing on that. I'm not in no gang.
Right.
I didn't do, And I had people run down on me asking me, yo, do the white thing. Lou, can I borrow your TV for the night? This is when I first hit the max. He said, can you do the white thing?
The white thing.
White
Yeah.
thing.
What's the white thing?
The right thing.
Oh, I thought it meant let him watch the Brady Bunch with you in your cell.
Basically, he's like, can I borrow your TV for the night?
Forever.
Forever!
Yeah.
That's the white thing to do.
Now, mind you.
I get it.
You get it? So, mind you, now this kid just got out of DDU. He stabbed the kid 37 times and left him in a wheelchair for life. He's home. He's a friend of mine. I stood on my 2 feet and I said, no. And you gonna respect that. You know what he said? No doubt. I'll see you in the morning, bro. Tried to recruit me the next day to be a C-dub. That's a white gang.
Yeah.
And I declined respectfully. Declined. Remained independent. And then had to like be that white independent guy that everyone ran to because, you know, right. And then by default, you're the head white guy on the block running the phones, and it's just exhausting. So when those tablets came out, they got the tablets now. They can get the phone on the tablets, and they brought in the MAT program, medicated assisted treatment. So they're giving out Suboxone and methadone in prison. So they get you hooked on it,
right?
And so when you leave, now you're stuck. We're circling back to where we started
in the system.
In the system,
it's all systems, man.
And they want you caught there, so they dose you up on the right before you leave. They dose you the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
So you don't die. Because I actually right before the MAT program hit, a kid from Concord went home and died
from
an overdose. So now what they were saying is bringing that treatment program to prison for people who are about to leave, so people weren't dying. So instead of them walking out the door, they go and use and die. Instead, they got on a medicated, a preventative medication, a preventative tactic. But it's also a drug in itself, you know what I mean? Methadone, Suboxone.
Sure. But you're talking about the statistically, if that program wasn't in place and they were leaving,
more people would be dying.
They would just go home and they'd do a hot dose and boom, and they'd be dead. Okay.
And that's the truth, bro. That's real shit.
Well, you know, it's not quite the same, but I equate it to what the government does to our veterans when they send them home. They don't unwind them. They don't give them the proper things they need to get into society and get back. And it's the same like that.
Yeah. No, they say the warm down from a workout is just as important, as not more important than the warm up.
And they say showing up is half the battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You show up for the workout, that's half the battle. The other half's just working out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And even me, I fell off. You know, I'm usually I had pneumonia and went through that. I got sick, shit, and whatever. But you know, I usually have a little more weight on. But like he was saying, life happens fast out here, and it's like I'm like trying to do so much. And like, especially don't let me tell you, if you're gonna have some type of like female in your life, God forbid, if you're gonna have a female in your life, that's gonna be a whole nother thing. And it's like so the career is like where all of my focus is going to go to, and where all my energy is going to go to. And manifestation, knowing I'm a legend in my own mind, knowing that I was born different. I'm born with overproduced adrenaline. I was born different. That's what I was told. That's what's on my medical records. And I'm going to take that, use that to my advantage, take that overproduced adrenaline and place it in the correct areas instead of in the wrong areas. No longer need validation from people. I don't need everybody, you know, I don't need it. I've been the man. I don't want to be the man, you know. You don't ever want to be the man. You want to let him be the man. You want to be in the weeds. You want to sit in the weeds. Let him be the man. I don't know nothing.
You were born a adrenochromosexual.
I'm gonna try to translate that, and
it's not.
And I'm gonna.
I think it's positive.
It's very positive.
It sounded positive.
Yeah, no, it's on a positive.
It sounded like it was positive.
You're worth your weight in gold at the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd have you like one of those chocolate fountains.
Yeah.
Just your blood pouring off the end of your finger, and then I'll be like,
they would just keep you alive and
Yeah.
just sipping. They'd be sipping on
yeah,
you,
be
bro.
sipping on Timmy
That
all day.
High levels of adrenochrome in that special blood.
And so what do you guys do for you guys aside from like this kind of stuff? What else do you guys do? Just trying to get to know you guys a little bit.
We're boring, dude. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Wow, I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
We do a little music, a little tattooing, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
nice.
But before we get on the boring shit like us, I've
I
always
was
wondered.
to remind you of that.
Yeah. Oh no.
You were going to say something earlier about his tats.
Oh, I was. I want to go there too.
Oh,
but
yeah,
but
we can show the tats.
real quick, I had a
Yeah,
question
yeah.
about how bail works, right?
Okay.
So, if you post bail, right, which yours was 30,000.
30,000, yeah.
Now, forgive me, dude. I'm real naive when it comes to this shit.
Yeah.
That money's gone, right? That's not like
No. You get it. I got it back.
You do
when I
get
got
it back.
sentenced, I got my 30 grand back. That was my dream bag.
So you post up,
because I was wondering, like,
they let you out, and then
They give you your money back.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you're putting up the money to
Right.
say I'm going to show up to court.
Oh, okay.
But if you skip court,
Then they take it. Then they keep it. And who keeps it?
It's a toss up.
The bail bondsman.
It is not a toss-up. It is the system designed
The
to keep
casino-
your
system's
money.
going
The
to try to
casino
keep
keeps
it,
it.
but if you
Yeah.
got a good enough lawyer, you might be able to
If you got
get some
a
back.
good enough lawyer, he gets
gonna
the
get a
bail.
little bit.
Yeah, he's keeping it.
He'll do a little,
Right.
it's, and so it's funny because, they deal in human lives.
Yes.
That's what they deal in.
Yep.
They
And
deal in human lives.
And every human life has a fucking price tag on it.
It does.
And that's a bummer. That's a prison.
I'll tell you though, just being somebody who can speak for the next man, Jim knows well. I have a close friend, that I made. He's a lifer, and he's having a tough time right now, man. He just flipped his case. He's trying to get parole, trying to work this program, and he's at a tough camp. And I got to be so conscious of what I'm saying to him on the phone. Because I forget sometimes.
Yeah, man.
And I'll complain it's too much.
Yeah, right.
And I'll catch him getting, you know what I mean? So it's
Your problem's a shit compared to his.
Yeah, bro. And it's that shit grounds me out real quick.
Yeah.
And, it's sometimes you build connections with people for life, and that's going to be your people for life. And I'll always show up for that kid. You know what I mean? Because it was so hard to find solid people, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be waiting 6 months, find somebody solid.
Yeah.
Or somebody even from out my way.
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky, it was your boys, but dude, there was a time where I was the only white kid in the max.
Right.
At least on my quarter that was coming out, because of
Right.
at that time it was everywhere was locked down. So being the only white guy on the block in the max was so crazy because, dude, I'm a white kid from Cape Cod.
Yeah.
You're
extra white.
Yeah, I got shot out by the police in this case.
Yeah.
Dealt with police brutality. He knows the police one time dragged me in the woods and dragged me into the woods, put my pants down in the woods, and credit carded my ass and pulled the 15 grams out. Yeah. So I went through a lot, because they couldn't really get me, so they were breaking the law to get me.
Right.
And so, I got beat a few cases. My head grew this big, you know what I mean? And it had to shrink back down to this big.
And then get big in the right way.
Yeah, and more or less exactly is kind of just make a difference. Don't just, okay, it's cool. I changed my life. That's awesome. That's cool. But how did you do it? Why did you do it? You know what I mean? What methods did you use? Who was there to help you? What were you able to do? Because this transition is not easy. I'm already hearing about guys that have gone back to the streets. You know what I mean? Yeah, saw a friend of mine just got a kid I know from doing time. He did it about 8 to 10 years. Came home. He just got caught half a kilo 2 years later. He was home for about 2 years. He's so worried about money.
Well, that's the thing.
That's all he cares about.
When you went in, things have gotten significantly worse over 6 years for everyone in terms of financial.
Oh my God, bro!
It's nuts, dude. So I can't imagine going in and then coming out, you know, however many years later, and it's that much worse.
Worth nothing,
dude.
The dollar, dude. A lot of money wasn't a lot of money. The dollar, I'm trying to use cash, and it's like cash was no good.
Yeah.
Some places didn't even want cash.
That's where it's going.
I'm like, dude, that's all they got.
That's where it's going right now.
So it was like, oh my God, dude, I'm late to the game. I'm not even in Bitcoin and nothing at all. I mean, you know, he put me on with a new XRP. I got a little bit in just trying to do just not even a lot, just little tiny bits of investments and trying to just learn it because I was timid. I was almost like timid of technology. So I didn't want to mess up.
Yeah, no, I told.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Because I did a couple of times. Remember sending my music around too much. Well, and it got me in trouble, and I got banned. I had to learn how to play on that playground, though.
There's also sorry.
No, that's it.
There's less and less security in the digital realm too, man, because you're always going to have AI that is being created and generated to scam people and to fucking break encryptions, and nothing is fucking safe in the digital world. Nothing. I don't care. You just have to keep spending more and more money on cybersecurity, and within less than a year, that's worthless.
There is no cybersecurity.
There is no cybersecurity.
It's levels of insecurity.
Ouch.
There's no encryption is foolproof.
No,
every single one.
That's why I think even Bitcoin, eventually, even blockchain stuff, like there will be a AI program that can outsmart everything, dude. Nothing is safe.
It's only going to evolve, and they're racing to get to the best. And when people are racing,
bro, so fast,
nothing good happens.
Could you imagine telling Dr. Manhattan that he can't have your Bitcoin?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this shit is.
Dr. Manhattan is the AI that will appear. It's like the race to you ever see Oppenheimer? Yeah. It's like the race to make the first atomic bomb. And
it is a race.
Yes, great analogy. Yeah, that was a great analogy. Literally,
probably the same outcome.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's less concern right now about the potential consequences, and it's just the race is on to get to the top super intelligence. Yeah. And no concern whether or not you're going to be able to fucking keep this thing.
Peter Thiel, the reptile, giving his lectures on Satan.
They know. Though.
Tell me something. Tell me you're fucking evil without telling me you're evil.
Yeah, and these guys know they're not going to be able to. They think they're going to be able to harness this, but can you imagine trying to enslave
that's
the
like
most
saying
intelligent?
Rick Moranis is going to fucking harvest Gozer or whatever that fucking dog is. No, he's just a dipshit summoning it or helping it, you know?
Yeah. We're just...
This planet is about to go full Ghostbusters, and it ain't the Stay Puft Marshmallow, man.
It is inevitable, though. It's going to happen.
And I mean, even just like, I remember, you know, everything on Instagram, bro, everybody was like fake accounts, fake. No, I mean, I remember coming home and you guys telling me, like, because I remember I'd be like, oh, no, this person retells this, and bro, all fake.
Yep.
Like, where is the reals?
Not in there.
They ain't in the internet. I'll tell you that much. Not yet, at least. Someone's gonna make a difference.
No, it's getting worse, man.
Right, it's only getting worse.
It's getting worse.
And there's no one really pushing. Like, I hate to say it, but like, there's also a white culture, dude. Hunting, boating, fishing. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Why is that? There's also like this big. Like, I feel like a lot of people are hopping onto these other races. Like, I've realized, like, you know, especially being inside, it's like, oh, I know who I am, and I love who I am.
Yeah.
And I also love the culture and the way I grew up.
Sure.
Dirt biking, you know, fishing, you know what I mean? I played hockey. I was a hockey player.
White people shit.
White people shit.
You go camping.
And I'm not disrespecting any other cultures. I speak 2 languages.
That's it, man. It's just different culture.
So it's a little different, I feel like, when I say it almost, because I had the head Cuban in the state. I talked to him for a year in Spanish, and he would always talk back to me in English. A year later, I would buy his meds. A year later, right? He speaks back to me in Spanish. And I was like, I'm like, how come you just talk to me in Spanish for the first time ever? Like you never even talked back to me in Spanish. It's always me practicing.
Because he could finally understand what you were saying.
He said, because you earned my respect. You learned about my culture.
Yeah, man.
And you understand my culture. There's different ways to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a different way to say I'm sorry to your mother than there is the way they say I'm sorry to a friend. How do we say it? We just say I'm sorry. There's no other.
Right.
It's not like we have 3 layers, so I'm sorry.
Right.
They do. See what I mean?
Yep.
Learning that just terminologies that don't exist in like a cabron. Now that's a word. That's a very, very bad word that I shouldn't say to the OGs as they say it. Now, when they say that, because it was a very bad word, and what it meant was your girl that you're lovey-dovey with is fucking the whole bar. Is fucking everybody, fucking your crew, fucking your people, and you know it, and you still all lovey-dovey with it.
What's the other? Is Saco
Largo is somebody
largo.
like that, where
A cuck.
the idea is
That's the word I heard. Yeah,
the idea is he's wearing a long coat and the girl's behind him stepping on the coat every time he's trying to walk forward. That's one of those kind of terms.
Kinder version.
It's a kinder version. Cabron is exactly. Or cornudo, like you're just somebody who's you're a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though.
And I'll tell you though. So just learning, like, dude, when he said that shit punched me. I almost threw up, and I was like, that's respect. That's when I actually learned respect.
Right.
2 years of studying every single day. All day.
You graduated, right?
It was just cool. It was just very like, wow, like, you know what I mean? That is.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
It was a good feeling, and understanding. Like, dude, I was so blind to other cultures. I didn't even know like the extent of the Spanish culture, because there's 4. Spain, Puerto Rico, Dominicans, and
you mean
Puerto Ricans.
The most common inside, yeah.
The most common inside were the Dominicans or the Puerto Ricans. But they all kind of, they speak the same language, but they all have different cultures,
right.
And they're mad proud, dude.
Oh yeah,
they're like decked out in all their Puerto Rican gear, and like I started like really sitting back and being like, I'm proud of who I am too.
Right.
Why is that wrong?
But then you came out and you realized you're not allowed to be.
Well, that's why he's wearing a gray sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It's very white of you.
I'm like, bro, are you?
Except during the Olympics, right? Then you
Yeah.
then you can be a nationalist at that point.
Yeah.
You can be like,
right? Yeah, but nowadays, you're not allowed
the World
to.
Cup's coming, so you can at that point you're going to be able to.
But yeah, somewhere along the line, like national pride became synonymous with like the KKK.
Only in America. And people who say that are fucking douchebags. Anyways,
it's insane.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
America's awesome.
America's awesome. America's awesome.
If you like dude, you sound like a white nationalist.
Yeah.
All right. How dare you be white and like your country?
Hey, and you know what? I'm gonna stand on that.
You're a fascist.
Yeah, well, I'm standing on it. I stand on business. And it's not even, and I respect all cultures, you know, but like I speak good. From the heck, you've been in the state, gave me his respect. Yeah. So I can kind of.
What I don't understand is there's some people over here in America that have huge respect or think they have huge respect for other cultures that actually like throw gay people off of rooftops.
Dude.
And force and are absolutely atrocious to women. And but for some reason we love that over here, right?
Can't get enough of that shit.
It's progressive to love another culture that throws gay people off of rooftops.
Fuck all that.
I could. That was a whole nother.
We took a dirty turn right there.
Well, I mean, he brings up another point too. Was like that whole movement there. The narrative they're pushing on our children, dude, in school is, dude. It's like, dude, it just blows my mind.
Well, that's what
to
you
a
just
whole nother degree of like, bro. They don't do no Pledge of Allegiance. They don't do nothing. They got cats and dogs in there. And identifying as a meow and a purr.
They got litter boxes in the bathrooms, bro.
Don't. Why would you tell me that?
Cringed over there.
No, because I feed off energy. Like
somebody told me that.
Off energy.
No,
like,
that's true.
And even like when he was getting, into it earlier, like I feed off energy.
Yeah, you know what? You just gotta. If you got kids, you just gotta be aware of what they're being taught. You know, and I don't know. What else are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
It's.
I'm glad I don't have kids. I don't have to worry about what they're absorbing.
Dude, I mean, it's scary. It's scary because especially when I'm not super duper there enough to make that impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And battling with my own family members to try to see my kids because apparently I'm not doing anything right.
Yeah, dude, that's tough.
I'm like, I don't know.
You just keep going.
That's where I come. Like I can take all of that out in music, and that's what keeps me out of trouble. So it's like that catch-22 where it's like they can't comprehend it. They can't be like, oh well, he is doing good. He has his own.
Well, you know what I think it is?
Mission in mind, and I think it's hard for everybody to accept that.
You got to your story with the Cuban guy, right?
Yeah,
it took 2 years. 2 years for you to earn his respect. So I think a lot of times it just takes a little while to work back to that level of respect, man.
The way I put it to Tim is you got to retrain them how
you really do. You really do, and you got to just accept that. And you did it. You've already done it. So maybe this is I know it's a little sharper because your kids are involved. I get that, but just be patient and stay doing the right thing. And set a 2 years, man. 2 years. Give them 2 years to realize that you are who you are now.
Well, it was tough because like. I was there, and then she almost kind of took it away from me
because you haven't proven to them yet.
That's all.
It takes retrain. It's think of how many years you spent getting into a bad spot.
Right.
Yeah. If you spend 25 years telling someone you're a fucking runt, and now you're gonna take 6 months to tell them you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey.
It's gonna be a long journey because it's like she has this like. Oh, she holds grudges, That's like a grudge holder. And holding grudges like drinking poison, hoping that it affects you.
Right.
Why don't hold the grudge, man? Everybody got to move forward, and there's no unison. And see, in prison, there's a lot of that. And being out here and not seeing it, not even in my own family, bro.
You're just in the next chapter, man. You're out of the prison chapter, and now you're on to your next.
Working on to the next chapter.
Your next chapter is another challenge, man. Those challenges are never going to end. They just change.
Well, and it's like I never want to glorify. Ever.
No.
All I ever want to do is be able to say that I made it out.
That's it.
And I made it out a new person. And I made it out a smarter person.
Dude,
a sharper person, more intelligent person, a better person, a leader, and someone that has a message and is going to deliver that message because there's so many people who can't.
Right.
I lived with 5 lifers. One natural lifer, he went to court. He came back. I asked him, hey, how'd court go? The whole energy in the room just shifted. And he goes, I just lost my last appeal and I'm spending the rest of my natural life in prison. That shit hit me in the chest, dude. I'm like.
That's it.
He lost his last appeal, and he was spending the rest of his life in prison.
That's his journey, though, bro.
And his attitude was so good.
Oh,
He took it in stride.
You know what it is? It's like when the Patriots lose the Super Bowl and you're so fucking bummed out. But guess what? The dudes in the Patriots, they didn't give a fuck. They were just playing football.
Right.
Like he was just playing ball and lost, and he's been prepared the whole
Yes,
time. But
correct.
to you're a fan and your team lost.
Yeah.
And that's fucked.
Yeah. Right. Basically. And it was like, because this dude, not wicked good kid. You know what I mean? You didn't just get a good read on him. I didn't live with him for too long. We were just a new man together, but like, good kid. And,
shit, I didn't see that.
Well, I want to wrap it up anyways, because you just had a wrap up like 3 minutes ago, the best fucking wrap up, and that was killer. But
Yeah, that's good stuff. Timmy,
yes, sir.
good shit.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's big respect.
is this gonna turn back on? Question?
Overheat.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, it did. All right, good.
Timmy, you've leveled up. That's what you've done. You've leveled up, and now you're on to the next stage of the video game.
Yeah.
Ready? Hey. This week on Truth Be Trolled, spiritual warrior Timmy Bakez talks prison. What else does he talk?
Fucking
Spirituality.
Yeah, the Matrix.
He's talking about
Timmy tells you about the
music,
demons walking around in the world out there.
Literally, it's spiritual warfare, and that's what no one realizes out there. It is spiritual warfare.